Willy's Wonderland, issue number 3 from American Mythology Productions. So it's been a while since I've done a Willy's Wonderland review, but that's just because this series has been releasing like quarterly or something. It's like every few months it gets released. So in the last issue, we had some origin stories for some of the animatronics, as well as some massacres going on. It ended with the Willy Wonderland cast murdering a bunch of children and parents and guardians at Willy's Wonderland. Basically, there was a birthday party and there was a huge massacre. I will say that there is some issue with this series in the fact that it jumps between the past and the present without any kind of indicators whatsoever. Like, for example, some comic books will do this. Manga especially does this, where flashbacks will have like black borders. Sometimes comics will just say, hey, here's the year or something like, 5 years ago, present time, whatever. There's no indication. So you'll be reading and you'll go from something that's happening in the present to immediately cutting to something that happens in the past to immediately cutting to something that happens further in the past with no indication that that's happening. So it can be kind of confusing. Willy's Wonderland, there was a huge massacre. The place is about to get torn down. We see this couple, man and wife, and they are going to bulldoze the place down tomorrow when all of a sudden they get attacked by Willy's crew. Willy's crew shows up, kills the husband, kills the wife, and then goes and kills the little kids. And then we cut to a flashback of Willy as a human and the rest of the animatronic characters as humans in a mental hospital. And this is where we get briefly Tito Turtle's origin story. So we don't know what his name is. Willy just calls him our newest friend. But his story is basically that he loves turtles. Tito Turtles, as a human, he loved turtles. He used to see them all the time when he was working the fields. And eventually a bunch of people made fun of him. Like all of his coworkers and stuff were making fun of his friends and disrespecting his turtle friends. So he slaughtered them while they were sleeping in their bunks. And that's how he ended up going into the insane asylum where he meets Willy and then eventually joins Willy's crew. So there's Tito Turtle's origin story. Just a guy working the fields who's obsessed with turtles. His coworkers made fun of them, so he slaughtered them while they slept. So then we get Ozzie Ostrich's backstory. And his backstory was that he was a killer by the name of the Midnight Strangler. That's the name that the media gave him. And as a kid, he was choked out by his mom, and because of that, he went mute. And I guess this upbringing just kind of broke him, and so he went and he started strangling a bunch of co-eds when he grew older, and he has like a death count of over 20 dead co-eds, and because of that, he ends up in this insane asylum, and these two other people show up in the insane asylum, and they rough him up, they beat him up a little bit, and they are about to... This is the nicest way I can put this. They are about to force themselves on him sexually when he pulls out a knife, slices one of them in the balls, and then starts strangling the other one when the orderlies come in and restrain him and put him into a straitjacket and into a room. And that's where Willy sees him and says, hey, Ozzie, looks like you can use a new friend. And that's how Ozzie Ostrich ends up joining the crew. And then we get Knighty Knight, and we have his origin story. And Knighty Knight's origin story was that he worked at a medieval fair. He worked as a knight. I think he was just one of those characters where he just stands still and allows people to take photos with him while he's dressed as a knight. So we see him just standing there in his armor with his sword, and some teens or young adults come up and start calling him, take a look at this douchebag, look at this reject. Hey, take my picture with Sir Dickwad. They start grabbing his nose and honking it. And Knighty Knight just rages out, slices one of the kids' arms off, stabs him in the chest, stabs the other one in the chest. And after he brutally kills him, he just stands there and poses once again covered in blood. And then, of course, someone calls the cops and That's how he gets thrown into the insane asylum. And yeah, that's how we get Willy's crew. I believe that's everybody's origin story. And then we just get like other stuff where we have Willy's crew. They're dressed in their costume and they go to some kind of basketball game and they start slaughtering everybody there. It's basically just a bunch of random murders and slaughters mixed with the origin stories, mixed with some random plots. It's, I would say, if you're a fan of the Willy's Wonderland, movie, obviously check this out because it gives you like a brief origin of every character. Some of the origins are more detailed. Like I feel like the very first few ones that we got were actually detailed, and we got to see like what happened. These ones are kind of like really quick though. Some of them we don't even get actual flashbacks. We just get someone telling us what their story is, which is kind of a shame. I kind of wish that they would basically break this down. Like this is going to be a 4-issue miniseries, so the next issue is going to be the conclusion. I kind of wish that instead they had broken it down and just every issue can be the origin story of 2 characters. Because you have 8 characters in Willy's crew, and if you have 4 issues, just do 2 origin stories in every issue, and there you go. You could just do that. But instead, they tried to segue in some kind of, I don't want to even say a plot, because it's not really a plot. It's just constantly jumping from the present to the past to the further past. Like we get the present day, and then we get the past where Willy is already an animatronic, and then we get further into the past where Willy and his crew are still human. So it's just a constant time jump without any indication of what's going on, mixed in with the origin stories, mixed in with random massacres and slaughterings going on, mixed in with people like trying to figure out what's going on and how to stop it. So there you go. There's Willy's Wonderland, issue number 3, and there's the origin story for Tito Turtle, Ozzie Ostrich, and Knighty Knight. Once again, Ozzie Ostrich strangled as a kid by his mom. He became mute and then ended up becoming the Midnight Strangler and strangled a bunch of co-eds. Tito Turtle was just a guy working the fields who has a fascination with turtles. His co-workers made fun of the turtles, so Tito slaughtered them in their sleep. And then Knighty Knight was just a guy who worked at a medieval fair taking photos with guests, and some of the guests were mocking him, and I guess you can even say assaulting him, because if you're grabbing someone's nose in an aggressive manner, I guess that's considered assault. And so he slaughtered them, and there you go. There's their origin stories. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me what you think. Like I said, I wish there was more. I wish they had maybe just focused on just the origin stories and not do any of the other stuff. Just have 4 issues, each issue having 2 origin stories of our characters. Yeah, I mean, if you like Willy's Wonderland, then, obviously check out this series. But there you go, issue number 3, 1 more issue to go. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.